I gotta sit up. I can't do it like this.
Oh, decided
just roll
laying
in.
Laying down is not the best way to podcast.
I mean, I might revert to it, but I was trying to get my thoughts together, and I'm like, nope, this is not the position to
I'm
do
about
that.
to fall asleep.
My thoughts are falling out of my butt.
You're listening to The Janchi Show, hosted by 3 Korean American adoptees diving headfirst into what it means to be adopted, Korean American, and more. And now, here's your hosts, Nathan, Patrick, and KJ.
Welcome back to The Janchi Show. It's your boys, KJ, Nathan, Patrick. Finally, here slipping in at the end of Q4 of 2025 with another episode of The Janchi Show. Fellas, how are you doing?
Great.
I'm doing great.
Excellent.
Actually, I have a little bit of a headache. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I lied too. I'm a little cold.
Is that a Thanksgiving hangover, or just like I hung out with too many children and now I'm sick from someone?
No, I don't know what it is, actually. It just kind of came on today. It's like weird in the side of my head. I don't know if it's like a migraine pain or if it's like, hey, you should go to the doctor for that. It's fine. I'm also bringing back OG Janchi cup of coffee at 8:30 p.m. So maybe that's
it. Is it because you're hustling as hard as... Man, you got like a mug from Nikki and you got the Janchi mug, and I'm just drinking a beer like it's a country song.
Well, you're in Texas.
Well, you are in Texas, so
okay.
Isn't everything a country song down there?
It depends, I guess, on what part of Texas you're in, but yeah.
What part of Texas you in?
The least Texas, like I'm
the
part
most Korean part, right?
Yes, I would.
Maybe?
That's where I'd choose.
I don't know. I actually don't know if Korea, if Korea, I do know if Korea or Dallas. If Dallas or Houston has a bigger Korean population.
Fact check us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
I have
with
my
Dallas.
computer up right now, but I don't want to type it in and look.
Yeah, I'm
I gotta hold
holding
this
my
mic.
mic with my good hand, so I'm fully disabled when it comes to my computer. So that's where we're at. But yeah, I don't know. It's good to be back. The last time we released an episode, my daughter had just turned 1, and Nathan had just been in town, I think. But I think we recorded that before she had turned 1. So it's been a long time since we've talked.
Been a while.
So yeah,
September 17th is when that episode came out.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm saying we recorded it in like late August. So it's good to see you guys. It's good to be back. Good to hang out. We for the listeners, we literally just set a starting date by which to regularly record episodes. Now that I think our lives have calmed down.
Famous last words, bro.
I mean,
put that pressure on us.
It's the end of the year. I feel like that's always busy for everybody. So
no, yeah, 100%. That's why I was like, we're starting in January because December. It's not even worth trying to schedule something in December.
I mean, I could,
but yeah. All right. A lot of life has happened, and I think we've got new rhythms and old rhythms and rhythms that we're still settling into. But yeah. I guess we should talk about. I was like, what do we do here? We should talk about what Janchi Show means and why we call ourselves a Janchi Show. So Nathan, take it away.
Gosh, we are the Janchi Show. Gosh, we started 5 years ago. We're here. Janchi means to feast, celebrate, and we are celebrating our identities, our shared experiences. Sometimes we have a guest, which we will have a guest because I think we have a few left in our queue. So if you're listening, we will get to you shortly. But sometimes we just like to talk about current events, which is, I think, what we're going to do today. And what have we been doing?
Also, shortly means anytime in the next 6 to 18 months.
I was about to say,
yes.
It's pretty relative. Relative. So we were talking about topics for tonight, and Patrick, you sent along that South Korea's Truth and Reconciliation findings report has just gotten posted. Can you give us a more general what just happened there?
Yeah, so for folks who don't know, which is KJ, I think like 3 or 4 years ago, a bunch of adoptees, roughly 370, I think. Man, I should have fact checked myself before I came in here. A lot of them from Denmark, but from a bunch of other countries, the US, Australia. They submitted their cases to the Korean government to investigate them for abuses and fraud and a whole bunch of stuff. And so they appointed a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to look into all this stuff. And they, over the next however many years, they kind of parsed out some findings. And then in a couple weeks ago, as of recording this, in November, they released the full report, which I saw from Lisa Woolrim Sherblum on Instagram. She posted the English language version of it. But essentially, it is just a full. I think it's just a full. It's like 150 pages, accounting of everything that they found, and I think the initial ruling is what it says in the report. It came out in March, actually, so we are just now 8 months later, actually getting the opportunity to look and see what they said. But essentially, what they said is, in at least 56 of the cases that they looked at, there were 100% confirmed human rights violations that happened in those cases. So, long story short, bad shit happened. They confirmed it through this, and now people are dealing with the fallout of that via this report, I guess. So, that's kind of that.
Yeah, well, and I think I remember seeing that, didn't the South Korean president or someone, like, actually apologize, which is one of the key takeaways from this report?
So that happened like 3 months ago, maybe? I don't know if we mentioned it when we talked about in our last episode.
We didn't. It hadn't happened
No, I
yet.
don't think we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of life happened in between.
Gotcha.
the 3
Okay.
months.
I'm not 100% sure. I think I might have commented on it online, but I think I don't know if it was a precursor to this or part of this specifically. I think it felt like it was just shoehorned in with a bunch of other announcements and apologies that were happening at that time. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, you said if the report came out in March and we're just now getting the English version, then, like, there's definitely enough time to plan for a public apology.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, they're going through it anyways. Like, they went through a whole, like, coup situation, so...
Yeah, I mean, we're not
like,
reporters or journalists by any stretch of the imagination. We're just here for funsies, so...
Yeah. But yeah, I think that, to be honest, I have not seen, like, a ton of people. I haven't been, like, super online about it recently anyways, but other than myself, I haven't seen, like, a ton of people talking about it. And I think it's because, like, for adoptees, specifically Korean adoptees, a lot of the stuff in the report is not new to our community. Yeah. I don't think. I think the big takeaway for me is just that this is like the government, even though it's not technically the government, it's like on record, the government saying these are the things that happened. So I think it legitimizes a lot of the stuff that we've been saying for a long time, in a way that it really hasn't been Korea specifically. When I say that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I guess they're apologizing when I saw that, that clip on social media come out, and then, like, reading the report, like, that's like item number 1 and things that you can help, and, like, the rest of it is not like reparations, but, like, the money that you didn't spend early in, like, the 1960s, start spending it now to help, like, rebuild those bridges. And I think that that's fine. I doubt they'll do it. I don't know that they need to do, like, if there's any, like, force behind making them do that. But just, like, kind of thinking through it, I was like, I don't know, like, if there's any enforcement on any of these, like, findings and takeaways and things like that in terms of, like, action items, but at the
they're
time,
just recommendations. Like, it's not like, there is no hey, you have to do this. Like,
That's what I'm
there's a
saying. Yeah. So there's
timeline,
no there's
you
no
know?
weight behind it. But at the time, I remember thinking like, oh, an apology, okay. And I don't remember my headspace, but even now, I'm just like, okay, whatever. But at the same time, I think I'm like in my getting older. I think I'm like, well, at least they apologized, and I think that probably means more to me now than it would have even 5 years ago when we started the podcast. I think I would have been super angry, super activated, super, yeah, just like pissed off and have more feelings. But now I'm like, well, I mean, I'm glad at least for the apology in some small way. It obviously can't change the past, but also who can? I think is where kind of I've landed on it. I don't know. Did you, Nathan? Did you see anything about it? Did it give you anything? Any thoughts about like? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, isn't one of the things that's changed recently also that the TCRC has taken control of adoption records as well?
Yes. They are, in an effort to preserve all of the records, they're transferring it all to, yeah. I don't know if the NCRC or TCRC or whatever that is,
Mhm.
some entity, which I think when that initially happened, put a pause on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's investigation. So I don't even know if what we're looking at now is like truly the fully completed version. Because I mean, they said that they investigated these cases, but I guess now thinking about more full context, I don't know if that's necessarily true. So,
Mhm. Yeah, and I know there's probably concern of lost records or mishandling again of records during this process. So, yeah, I just know it's. I mean, it's a lot, and yeah, hopefully anyone going through it is, finding what they need.
I know you don't speak for the organization, but has this been something that's come up in conversation with Con at
Yeah, I
all?
mean
Like,
there has been some leadership on programs that and some discussions with other organizations about it. I haven't
mm,
personally been involved in those, but I'd be curious. We have Con coming up next year, but then also ICA is happening next year too, and
yep.
so I would assume there's going to be more. I don't know all of the sessions that are going to be at Con yet because I'm not on the session list or committee, so I haven't heard of all the ones coming out that have been chosen. But I'd be curious to see if any of those are about TCRC or the searches that people have been doing with all of that. So we'll find out. But
I've got to be one, I would imagine.
yeah,
Got to be one.
yeah. Yeah, and then ICA being in Korea next year, that's definitely something I want to try to go to.
Oh, you're going to try
And
and go?
yeah, definitely going to try to go.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I've said it now. I'll said it live.
Put
It's
it
on
on
my
the
calendar.
It's on
and
it's on the calendar. There
it's
you
on the
go.
calendar. And it's far enough away from Con that I will have a little breathing room. And I have already pinged my wife on it and said, "Hey, I might be gone in October." So yeah, we'll see.
I've already
Amazing.
pinged my wife. That's how you
Yeah.
know she's not approving of that.
I paged her about it.
Yeah. I wrote a sticky note and I put it somewhere.
I scheduled
I
a
gave her-
reminder for
I gave
just
her the
before I
notice.
leave.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to Korea for a week. See ya.
It's a 60-day notice. It was there.
It's a 24-hour notice.
Oh.
I'm actually already at the airport.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I mean, I feel like this again. I feel like the report is more for people outside of our community. Hopefully, they'll like tap into something like that. I don't know that people will, and I think it would require our community to make a bigger stink about it. You know, like publicly. Maybe we should be doing more podcasts about it. But I feel like it's just like it's a step in the right direction, kind of like what you're saying, KJ. Like the apology is nice, like, and as much as I want to see more, I'm not going to poo-poo something that is a step in the right direction. All intents and purposes. And I feel like the thing that I have been thinking about when it comes to stuff like this is that it always ends up falling back on the shoulders of the impacted community to make sure that progress continues moving in a forward direction, which I
Yeah.
think kind of sucks.
Yeah, because that community is tired, and that
Well, yeah, I
community
mean, just
has
you could say that
lives.
about any community,
No,
and
I
the
know.
things that
That's
they
what
have
I'm
to,
saying.
yeah.
Like that community
Oh,
is
right,
tired.
right.
That community is trying to live their lives. That community is doing things like raising kids and trying to get home loans or get educated or find
Exactly.
food or any of those things. So yeah, like there's already so many things going on. Yeah, it's an unfortunate kind of reality of things. I know that you you said like maybe we should be podcasting more about it, but you've actually started another podcast apparently.
Yeah.
And you kind of sent us this reflection that was like tied up with obviously the report coming out and some other internal reflection, and I thought it was really interesting because you and I obviously don't. Well, I say obviously for the listeners of the show, longtime listeners of the show, you and I, they know like you and I don't have the same relationship to Korea,
Right.
to Koreanness, to any of that. And I'm always so grateful when I can hear your thoughts either through the podcast or through whatever other medium you decide to talk, because I literally don't understand it. And I mean, I understand some of it, obviously, maybe
Sure.
more than others, but it's just such a different experience. And you said something that I thought was really interesting. So for those listening, Patrick has a Substack. We'll link it in the show notes. But um, you were writing about like this idea that um, through adoption you lost your family name and then you realize like you've lost the truth, and shared a story about like your searching for your birth mom and that kind of
Mhm.
stuff, and how that was kind of against your will. And I don't know, it was just like I think so much of it was interesting to me in the way that because you express like doubt or your ability to trust kind of anything surrounding your own origin story. Can you kind of briefly explain that and kind of go deeper onto that?
Yeah. So Rick Allen, friend of the show, has been creating prompts the past few Novembers to write about, and one of the prompts this year was something that you've lost through adoption. And so, in this episode of my other podcast, because after I'd been reflecting on the report and stuff, I came to this conclusion that the thing that I have lost is the thing that I lost is access or the ability to know truly, like my true origin story. And I say that because I think, long story short, were I ever to reconnect with specifically my birth mother, but either of my birth parents, I don't know that even the story that they tell me about why I was adopted, what was going on in their lives at that time, yada, 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 that I could 100% fully believe that that was the case. And I think that that is my reality currently. And again, I say that because I don't know, I can't say that with 100% certainty that that would be the case, but that's just how I feel currently, because I feel like there is, I can never not remove the context of uh, what I have perceived or been led to believe is my story. And I think when I think about sitting across from either my birth mother or father and hearing them tell me what happened, I feel like I can feel myself being incapable of relieving that doubt from my mind and just fully accepting that this is the reality. And I feel like I'm not doing a very good job of explaining why that is. I just think that there's something in me that feels like I'm not able to do that. And I think I talk about adoption being something that has, or I try to live as the most whole version of myself, knowing that I can never be completely whole because of adoption. Adoption stole wholeness from me, regardless of the positive experience that I had post adoption. And I think that's part of that loss of wholeness, is this loss of the ability to truly believe the things that, I don't know, the thing that would give me the closure, I guess. And that, I don't know, that's kind of stupid, I suppose, when I say it out loud, because it's really subjective to myself. But like when I play that scenario out in my mind, when I am on the receiving end of what ostensibly should be my true origins, this is what happened. If you take a time machine back and look at it, this is what's happening. Like, I don't know that I can be like, okay, I believe you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Sorry, I
mean,
don't know if that was a good answer.
No, I
that's a great
understand.
answer.
Yeah, because for 30 some odd years, you've believed one thing, and then to try
Sure.
to all of a sudden change that mindset about something from somebody that you don't have a relationship with or fully trust. The only thing you know is that they, are your birth parents. So to actually take in something from them and completely wipe out all, history of what you've believed, I think is a very hard thing to do. So I don't blame you for not, not thinking that you would at that time believe exactly 100% what they're saying. And also the language barrier will probably be also
Sure.
an issue as well. Because I
Well,
sometimes didn't get that
Yeah.
either too, where I was like,
Well, I think part of
know
it
what's going on.
that you just made me think about is that there's a part of me that believes that they would tell me the story I wanted to hear, and that they can
Yeah.
never truly tell me what actually happened, because a part of them is still the parent, like my parent,
Sure.
And so, like, I think there's an innate desire to protect. Now that I'm a parent, that's what I think about.
Yeah. Like,
So
you're saying
I'm like,
you can understand.
yes,
A
I can
little bit.
empathize. Well, that's I guess that's what I wanted to say, is like, I don't blame me saying that I couldn't trust them is not meant to be a reflection on them. Like, I don't necessarily blame them for me not being able to trust them. I'm just saying that is the foundation from which I currently am moving from.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself a skeptical or pessimistic person by nature?
Not really, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of optimistic. So it's strange.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so I was going to say, because I was like, I don't think of you as pessimistic or skeptical. I don't think of myself necessarily. I think of myself as pretty realistic, TBH,
Sure.
but leaning optimistic and leaning idealistic. But when it comes to adoption stuff, I do find myself being a little more skeptical, being a little more pessimistic. And I think it's less to go back to, like, language barrier and some of the stories that our birth parents might tell us. Like, I think it's less a language thing and more of a culture thing, but I think too it's like I remember there's some vague memory about reading the Korean culture dictionary and like something about saving face, and like that's very
Oh,
important.
yeah.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
it's important in East Asian cultures, obviously more cultures generally, but and I think that there is some version of me that would be skeptical of anything my birth family could tell me, because they would also want to save face. They would not have the ability to know the whole truth in the way that a pure time machine, like kind of like God's eye time machine view, would allow you to know maybe the full truth, because like maybe they thought that they were doing the right thing, but they didn't know that the adoption agency was the bad actor, and like, so there's a bunch of other stuff, and
Sure.
they were like quietly being manipulated, or vice versa, or not vice versa, but you know what I mean. Like, there's so many bits there that could be misconstrued, not fully understood, that really do kind of play into, well, how could we ever know the truth? And I think, like, reading your post, I was like, oh yeah, that's interesting. And I appreciated your reflection because I was like, yeah, I guess there is some level of like, we lose our ability to trust and to accept the truth because of our adoption. And like, even like people like you and I who are optimistic when it comes to our origin stories become maybe necessarily skeptical and
Mm,
pessimistic as a way of like self protection, as a way of
yes.
like not throwing away everything that we've believed to this point about ourselves, because that's also like a lot. Like having done that to some degree, like with my religious beliefs, like that's a lot of mental work, and so there's probably some part of our brain that's just protecting ourselves from that. I don't know.
Well,
Um,
I think what you said about yourself is, I think I hadn't thought about it this way, but I do think about it now. I think of just being realistic with the situation. And I don't know that I've ever been like that plainly realistic with myself about anything.
mm,
Like, and I think when I heard you say realistic, I'm like, oh yeah, that's like, I think that's why I couldn't shed the doubt, because realistically, like, why would they not? How could you possibly tell the kid that you relinquished the truth? You know what I mean? Like, and again, that's subjective to me. Like, this is all like my own opinion, and obviously the scenarios that I've played and made up in my mind. Not only for my birth parents, but for myself, should I, for whatever reason, ever have to have that conversation with a child, like that I had to relinquish, because the reality is that shit happens. Like,
yeah,
we're not having these conversations were they not to happen. And so I think, like, the doubt, the inability to lose the doubt, and therefore feeling like I've lost the ability to fully trust my origins, is because, oh, if I'm being real about it, like, maybe that is it for the best, maybe, like, is that the realest possible thing, and in reality right now I feel like is caked in kind of the negative a little bit. But I have, or oh, okay, not but, and I think I say all of that, and I kind of wrote about this too. Like, I think the silver lining for me in all of this is that being aware of the loss, and just being aware that I'm aware that that is like the reality that I live in, is a powerful thing, because it allows me to move forward and not
yeah,
be caught in a dwelling situation where I'm dwelling on this forever, like I was feeling when I came back from Korea the second time. But I can reflect on it and move forward from that place, and not get trapped in it. And so
yeah,
I think doing the show, meeting you guys, and developing this relationship, being a part of the community, has helped me be able to get to that point where, had I gone through all of this solo and tried to figure it out, like, I don't know, not great for me or anyone in my life, probably, because I'm straight spiraling.
yeah. Well, I mean, especially, yeah, the Patrick that I met and the Patrick that I know are very different people. So yeah, I can imagine that. So yeah.
What about you, KJ? Do you have any similar feelings of that, or what are your feelings of loss?
Oh, specifically that. What have I lost through adoption?
Hmm.
So I'm glad you've asked me that, because I I texted I, I texted you two while we were like, well, I don't know, while Patrick was answering, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot that it was National Adoption Awareness Month. Like, just like totally did not exist in my brain, because I've just not been in that space, because I've have a child, and she's doing really cute things, and I'm just like busy celebrating her. And the other day, I was just like watching her toddle away, and I just had this like burst of love, and I was like, man, I am so grateful that you are in my life. Like, I was so like, and I've wanted to be a parent since I was like a teenager. It's really funny. Side note, my youngest nephew hangs out, and he's so sweet with my daughter, and he's like, man, he's like, he's in 6th grade. He's like, man, I can't wait to be a dad. And but it's funny because like Sarah hears those things and she's like, I bet that's what you were like. And I was like, yeah, I kind of was. Like I was like just very excited to be a dad, and like she really has healed something in me that's really beautiful. But at the same time, like, yeah, so thinking about like what if I lost through adoption, I kind of think about that generational thing, and I think about like that ability to know. Patrick, I like your reflection really kind of help crystallize some things for me about like, oh yeah, there is that skepticism and there is that like inability to know. And like when I'm hanging out with Olivia and we're learning Korean words together and I'm like hammering in vocabulary for like spider in Korean is golmi, and like lion in Korean is saja, and like whatever, like, oh, I can say let's go in Korean. I should speak Korean, like whatever. Like every time I try to give her Korean, I realize that like I'm just making it up as I go along. Like it feels like really inauthentic. And so it's like, I mean, this is the best that I can do, and I've kind of forgiven myself, but I do get sad and angry about that loss of like culture, that loss of whatever. I remember when K-pop Demon Hunters came out and I watched it, I was like, God, Korea is such an old nation. And then Korea gave Trump a crown,
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
so I saw someone on, I think it was Instagram, who was like, Korea just did like top level trolling on Trump, and he was like, if you look at the history of this crown, you realize that like South Korea is paying Trump like no respect at all. Like huge disrespect is being given to our current president,
God,
and
his
Trump
ass.
is probably just like, oh yeah, this is nice. But like again, like the cultural references of like what that crown means, and like thing on like layer on layer on layer on layer is just like entirely lost to me. And so it's like that's like such a bummer. So I think like just the like I feel sometimes a little lost at sea in the identity that I have chosen for myself as a Korean American, as a 5-year-old Korean American. I'm still like, I guess like lost at sea with like a side of imposter syndrome. Um, is kind of like how I feel about things, and I chalk that up to being adopted, raised by white parents, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my initial like what I feel like I've lost.
I get that lost at sea feeling for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I resonate with the lost culture thing. I do have similar feelings of all the things that I've lost, the knowledge and experiences that I could have learned from being there. That yes, I can try to learn now and like you said, makeshift what I think these traditions should be. But yeah, there's a lot that I miss, a lot that I wish I had. But at the same time, it's like the multiverse too, where there's you miss one thing, then that means you didn't get this other thing. So I'm still, don't want to discount all the experiences that I have had. So
Yeah, I think it's also different too, because part of the things about like just making it up is like I know that like on some level like everyone's kind of making it up, but I don't have the historicity of like, oh, these are the things that I love to do as a kid. I want to make sure that I do them versus like these are things that I didn't love as a kid, so I'm like intentionally dropping it, but I get that it's there and there's still like significance or whatever, you know what I mean? And like, so yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I mean, on some level we're all making it up, but I am like really making it up.
Well, that's the thing. We're all starting from square one, like
yeah,
like a literal
Yeah.
square one, and we don't have that built-in, like you said, cultural connection or cultural cachet that would carry over from that parent-child connection, or even like child in that community growing
Yeah,
up with
child in the
Korean
community
people
connection. Yeah, like
connection.
it's not that my parents aren't teaching me, my aunties aren't teaching me because I don't have any aunties, my cousin,
Yeah.
like any of that kind of stuff. We've been recording for a while, and I forgot that we normally do a snack.
yeah. We don't have a
I don't
snack
think
though.
I even have any snacks left.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
send you them yet. I
You
have some right
snack?
here.
Oh,
I have snacks right here to send you. So for next time, I will send you.
Nice.
So
Yes.
for next time, great.
Yes.
Well, until next time.
At Janchi Show on all the social media platforms. JanchiShow.com. I think we still have a website. Do we still have a website?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Although it needs to be
We got,
updated.
we got a website.
It does.
We got a non-updated website. Be on the lookout for JanchiShow.io 13 whenever that rolls out. JanchiShow@gmail.com. Send us an email. Send us a note. Let us know that you're still listening to the show. We would really appreciate that.
And we apologize for not doing one sooner.
It's fun.
Yes.
We got lives.
I
We
think
all
so.
got kids now.
I know.
Like we've been
People
doing the
are
show
wondering.
for 5 years.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm only like 40% sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm only 40% sorry too. I didn't want to go
Yeah,
higher
so
or
that's-
lower. I wanted to be the same.
That's like we're as a show we're like at least 80% sorry.
Hey, we are cumulative. 40 plus 40 is 90.
Yeah,
As we
that's how
established.
math works.
I'm a math.
You can go to our website and find all of our individual social media handles and anything else that you need to find out about us. Anything that you guys want to plug before we hop out of here? Anything you got going on? Nathan, I know you got con stuff going on. Is there anything anybody needs to know about that?
Nah, I mean, most people will follow the con socials, so yeah, nothing. I look forward to
We are con.
seeing people in
Dum,
Denver
dum,
though
dum, dum, dum.
next year.
See you in Denver next year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to that. We'll see. Well, now that I know that we're not. Anyways, stay tuned for that. Again, we're back. We're back in the saddle. We got calendar invites on our calendars to record more. So we're hopefully going to be here on some sort of regular cadence in 2026. But until then,
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
New Year.
Happy end of the
Probably.
nom. Yeah.
happy end of
happy-
Nam. Happy beginning of Deck. Deck your halls.
2026. Can't believe that.
2026.
That's so crazy.
All right. Well,
All right.
I forgot to
I
cue
was-
the thing, but
I was
until
trying to
next
get
time.
us. I thought I was cueing us with it.
Janchi, hey yo!
Janchi heyo!
Crushed it.
I forgot that was the thing. You did a great job queuing it up.
We haven't done the show in a long time. That's what happened.
Yeah.